Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Back to the Future Dice Through Time is a new Back to the Future board game released by Ravensburger. In this game, you're rolling dice and mitigating your luck to travel through time to fix the paradoxes that have been created. You have Doc Brown in the game, you have Biff that's always trying to thwart your plans, and you're Marty flying through the DeLorean. And it's really neat how each player is Marty from a different time period, and that really works very well in this game. I kind of wondered how they would take care of that. I think it's been done beautifully. The game really feels like Back to the Future, and it has all this chrome on it that kind of makes it look like that. Now, it's suspect that there aren't any frames or pictures of the characters. It has this modern look where there's no faces on everybody, and it kind of works for the motif that they're going for. So I really like the artistic style that they have in this game. I think it looks really cool, and it came off as maybe they didn't have the license for it, but it actually works with how they did it. They really made it work, and I really like it quite a bit. I like the way this game looks. Now, the game is really fun to play. My wife and I played it. We're like, hey, let's play it again. Let's play it again, and we really had a good time with it. The game can be hard, so there are some negatives to the game. One, there's a lot of luck in it. There's dice in, there's a way to mitigate those dice, but at the end of the day, this is a dice game. So if you don't get the right actions that you want to do, there can be turns where you don't have a whole lot to do. The turns are fast, though, so it's not a really humongous deal, but just be aware of that. Also, my wife and I got to the point where we really needed to fulfill something in the 2015 era, and that card was just not coming up. And we had done super well, luckily, of course, but we had done super well in the game. We couldn't get that last item card in 2015 because the event card just happened to not come out. That could be some shuffling issues or just bad luck on our part, but it was going to cost us the game, and it eventually did cost us the game because that one card just didn't come up. There was no way for us to fulfill that. So I kind of know that going in. It's a quick game. It plays really quick. I like it a lot. But there is some luck that's going to be playing against you. And I think that might be one of the main things kind of working around about you. If the right cards come out, like one game we had where we won easily, a lot of the event cards come out and not so many events out on the board. And that can be a little tricky because there aren't things to do. You're just kind of sitting around for a round, which is great. You can, maybe if one event or two events come out, you can kind of manage those a little bit better. But if you're getting pounded by event after event after event, that can be pretty tough. The game scales pretty well. I like it at 2, I liked it at 4. 3 was fine too. I think that it all works. I think it's a really fun game. It's not one you can take too seriously. There is some luck, but this is intended to be a family-like game. I have to say, I really like this game. I think it really nailed the Back to the Future theme. I've seen some people being a little bit lukewarm on it, but I think this is one that is really fun. Plays well, I can play with my kids, and we can have a great time. This is definitely going to be a keeper for me. Here's Back to the Future Dice Through Time. This is by Ravensburger. Really nice box. When you open it up, you're going to get an owner's manual, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. This is going to have, this back of the board actually has a letter on it from Dr. Emmett L. Brown. When you open up the board, you're going to have 4 different times here. Very colorful, liked it very much. You got a track at the top. You got places for your cards. Very nice board. Very colorful. Like it quite a bit, and I do like the letter that's attached to it. You're going to get these player boards. Very nice. Each one has a different color and a different time here. You can see the Old West, 1955. Very cool. Like that quite a bit. You're going to get 4 DeLoreans in different colors, one for each time period and for the different color of the players. Very neat. You're going to get the standees. These will be Biff and the different time zones that you're going to have. I do like the modern art with no faces. That's really neat. You're going to get an out-of-time license plate, which will be the time tracker for the game. You're going to get a bunch of dice in different color. They're all exactly the same, but they are different colors depending on who is rolling them and what color you're going to be. You're going to get some nice little tokens. No problem with these. And these little tiny cards, which actually fit pretty well, and I like them. I didn't have any problems with these, and they fit really nice on the board and keep the board at a good size. You're also going to get a first player marker, which will be the 88 miles an hour, which is pretty cool. Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads. So very happy. Even the little bit of a custom, quote-unquote custom insert here is very nice. Very happy with the components. Here's the instruction manual, or they call it an owner's manual, the DeLorean on the front. You have the object and just a table of contents for the contents set up with a picture, but then this lists most, if not all, of the components. So it's very nice that they do that there. You're going to have gameplay, very easy, different icons you can see here. Very easy to read through and look at. Not a lot of rules. This little rippling thing you're doing is probably the most confusing part of the game. And then how to win the game. Very simple to do. Back is just wasted space and the credits. I found the rules pretty good. I can probably read this in 10-15 minutes. Probably need one read. Only thing I really had to refer to would be the icons, but there are on the player boards. So I really didn't need the book at all once I did my one read through. Very good. Setup for the game is very easy. Everybody will take their player aid. They will take the dice in their color. You will put Biff out on all the spots that say Biff start. So this is where Biff is. For each player, you have a DeLorean in your time area. The out of time will come up here. Shuffle the event deck. And based on your difficulty, and I'm doing easy here, you have 2 cards from each time zone. What you're trying to do in the game is you're trying to get these rewards and take them to the locations. In this case, Lou's Cafe in 1955. So I need to have this, get my DeLorean here. If I'm able to deliver all 8 or more, if you're playing with a harder difficulty, then you win the game. On your turn, depending on the number of players, let's say we're playing a 2-player game, then you would do 3 of these event cards. This says Marty skateboards to school. This would go out on Marty's house, 1985. This one says, what are you looking at? Add a paradox token to each of Biff's location with an event that does not already have a paradox token. So that would be this one right here. So that's my second card. And my third one says Doc builds a DeLorean in 1985 at Doc's lab. So those would go down. Very easy to do. So based on number of players, you bring out a number of event cards. Then all players will roll the dice. I'm going to roll them here just so you can see. And each of the dice will have different icons on it. So let me explain what they do here. If you get the flux capacitor, then you can move your car to any other time period that you want. If you get an arrow, the Back to the Future arrow, you can move anywhere in the time area that you're in. If you get a Doc Brown, then he allows you to take 2 of the paradox tokens off of the board. If you get a lightning, that will allow you to re-roll any of your unused dice that you don't want at that time. And then you have the fist, which is here. If you get the fist and you're in a location with Biff, you can move Biff to any location in that same time zone that you want. Last but not least is the wrench. That's a wild card. That can be any side that you want it to be. Now, if you ever have 2 of the same thing and you don't want to use them, for that, say I don't want any rerolls, then these 2 can be anything that I want. They can also be wild. So that's what I can do. Now the players are going to lose the game if the out of time ever makes it to the end of the track. Then you would lose. So then that player would perform all their actions depending on what they wanted to do. Now what you kind of want to do is you want to get to these locations here. Let's say here, Marty skateboards to school, for example. So let's say my DeLorean was able to get there. I can't complete that as long as he is there. So maybe I would use a fist if I had rolled a fist. I can move Biff to another location. Then I would have to give up a wrench, as you see here, and I would accomplish this. So when I accomplish this, this goes to the discard pile. I can grab one of these reward cards, and I can only have 2 of these. Now I need to get to Brown Mansion in 1955. So let's say on another turn, I was able to use the flux capacitor, get up here to 1955. I need to get to the Brown Mansion. If I'm ever to get to the Brown Mansion, I can give this up. This will have been accomplished. I'm closer to winning the game. I get to move the out of time marker back a spot, and we randomly take an Einstein token, one of these dog ones, and they go up here. The great thing about those is these are extra icons that anybody can use on their turn. So in this case, a free fist, or maybe a free move, or maybe a free Doc Brown, or a free flux capacitor. So those will go up there. They're used 1 times, but you get those for gaining the rewards and delivering to the spots that you want to do. So the next phase of the game is you're going to advance the out of time marker. You're going to see which one of these has the most in it. 1, 2, 3 versus 1. So 1885 has the most paradoxes. So we will move the out of time up 1, 2, 3 for that. If it had a paradox token there, then you'd move it up an additional 1 for all of the paradox tokens. After that, you add a paradox token to whichever area you had it in. So these become even more important, only 1 to a spot. and then you pass the first player marker, and you do the whole thing again. So these areas that start getting hit really hard with events and paradox tokens, you got to make sure you're able to get there and get rid of everything. And that's how you play Back to the Future Dice Through Time. Who should buy this game? Anybody looking for a light family game that's pretty wide out there. If you like Back to the Future, if you like dice rolling, those are all pluses in this game. Do you have to be a fan of Back to the Future to play this game? Absolutely not. But does it help you in the immersion and enjoying the game? Absolutely. If you like Back to the Future, this is a really fun game. As of right now, I think this is the best Back to the Future game I've ever played. I've enjoyed it quite a bit, and it's one that I would recommend to you highly, especially in that family light kind of dice rolling circle or sphere, if you will. I think this really hits and pushes some buttons. If you like Back to the Future, it's going to go way up for you. I have nothing but great things to say about this. I listed some of the flaws in the conclusion. I think those exist. Be aware of them. If they really, really bother you, then pass this one on by. But for everybody else that can live with that kind of luck, I think you're really going to enjoy this game as I have. Definite keeper for us.
Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel. Lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing.